Action. And I know why you're hiding now. So if you tell me that you're hiding now, I know why. But you don't look bad. I actually, you never look bad to me. You always be like, oh, I look like so and so. And I'm like, you don't.
It's like it's like
Good afternoon, everybody. I tell you what, y'all are jumping in fast today. I see we already at 19, so that's good. I mean, I guess we made them wait long enough for the class, Josh. They was like, hey, we gotta get in there. All right, so my apologies first and foremost. You know, you guys, I've been booked out, so I haven't been in town, and able to, you know what I'm saying, able to do the classes or whatever, but we're getting right back to it. But since we've been gone for a while, I know that I gave you guys a lot of information from the past classes that we had, from boundaries to fears and everything else. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to open up the floor. And I think that Josh has already put the link inside of the Patreon. So whatever questions that you guys ask, if you want to write it in a comment and you just want me to respond to it, then I can do it that way. If you would like to come on live with me so that you will be able to explain in detail what your question is, then we can do that as well. But the link is right there in the comments. So you click the link that you see right there that's in the comment. And when you click that link, I need for you to type in your name. Once you type in your name, it will give us that option where we can bring you online with me. That way you can come on, you can ask me your question directly, and you'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, to put it in there so that I can really understand what it is that you're saying and give you my best advice on it. And this is our first question and answer. So I'm extremely excited about it. So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, if I don't have anybody popping up with questions, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump right into our class. So yeah, if you got some questions, man, listen, if I go into my Patreon box, I tell you what, when I go in there, y'all been and asked me 1,000 questions. Y'all have so much stuff that y'all want to talk about. So now that I'm opening this floor up, I'm gonna need for y'all to bring them questions on, bring them on to me. Y'all been asking me 1,000 things in my Facebook inbox, inside my YouTube, I mean not YouTube, but my Instagram, my TikTok. You guys are always asking me questions, always have things that you guys want to talk about. So right now is the time. If you have a question or a comment, a statement, a different perspective on anything that we have talked about, anything that you want to ask me about, you know, something that you're battling with, even within your own life right now, and you just want to talk about it, go ahead, click that link. Click the link that he has right there in the comment section. Type in your name. Once you type in your name and send it in, we're going to be able to bring you onto the live, or you can text. You can actually text your question inside the comments. If you don't want to come on live, you can text it inside the comments. Good morning to everybody. I'm so used to saying good morning. Good afternoon to everybody. What's going on, Rosemary? I see you. What's going on, Tasha? Good afternoon, Denise Lau. I see you as well. Good morning. Well, I want to say good morning, Josh. Everybody, I want to tell everybody good morning. Good afternoon, Rosemary. I see you. What's going on, Cynthia? Lovely K. Good afternoon, Courtney. What's going on? Barnes, last name Barnes. Good afternoon to you as well. Stephanie, I see you. Good morning. I don't know. Just y'all, when I say good morning, y'all just say hey.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Just go. Yeah, exactly. Just go with it. Y'all know I'm used to doing things in the morning. How y'all doing? The floor is now open for anybody who have any questions for me. If you have any questions for me right now, it's the time to ask. Ask it inside of my link. What tips do you have on staying emotionally stable? Dealing with being emotionally stable. One of the things that I can honestly say that I use, you know what I'm saying, to be balanced is I make sure that I utilize my morning routine, my midday routine, and my night routine. I have conditioned myself so much that now I do these things effortlessly. Did I say that right, Josh? Effortlessly. Yeah, so I'm able to just go ahead and jump right into it. So first things first is I get up. First thing that I do is, when you're going into prayer, going into my meditation. Ooh, Josh.
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know what happened. Something just happened with my computer. It just went all over the place.
I
First
told
thing,
you the new
I
computer.
don't know what it was, a pop-up or something that came up. Either way, guys, basically what I do to make sure that I'm always emotionally stable, I follow my routines, which is my morning routine is prayer, meditation, and my positive affirmations. Throughout the day, right around the middle of the day, what I do is I either do 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of motivational speaking. I listen to other motivational speakers. I also pick up self-help books where I'll read 5 to 10 pages a day. And at night, I repeat my morning routine. I repeat that at night, so I can always make sure that I'm surrounding myself with a certain level of positivity, always making positive deposits within myself. So, even when things happen throughout my day that sometimes I get flustered, sometimes I get annoyed or aggravated, I'll blow off my steam. I feel everything that I got to feel in that moment. But now I don't drag things along. I don't take something that happened on Monday and drag it all the way out to like Friday, creating that storm in my life. I go ahead and feel what I gotta feel, and I move forward from that. So being emotionally stable really depends on your routine. What is it that you're conditioning your mind? What is it that you're feeding your spirit on a regular basis? When you get to that point where you're consistent with the things that you do with yourself on a regular basis, then you will understand that you'll be less likely to overreact, less likely to step out of position, or any of those things. You'll be able to control your emotions. All right. I got Rosemary. We're going to bring Rosemary on.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
What's the question, love? Thank you so much for tuning in.
I'm so excited. It's my birthday. So you doing a class today. I've been bragging to all my friends. I was like, don't y'all call me. I got class, and we can do whatever we gotta do after.
Oh, now you know what? See that right there? That is dedication. That is dedication right there. First and foremost, happy birthday to you. Wishing you many, many, many more trips around the moon, man. Thank you so much for, what I'm saying, just loving me, investing in me, and being a part of my motivational community. I appreciate you so much for that. What's your question on your birthday?
Okay, well, first, I want to, it will be an honor to give you your flowers. So, first and foremost, I want to let you know I've been a speaker since 2014. I finally breached an international reach, and I was not in a place to get up again. And I want to tell you that when you see me out back in the game, it's because of you saying yes to the assignment. I don't know where I would be. I couldn't get up. I was deep in depression, deep, just watching you. First of all, I didn't even really watch TikTok. I found you on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, I found you on Instagram. I was like, hold on now. And because it's a certain tone. That's why when the Bible says it's the voice, your sheep know your voice, your sheep know your voice. And I was really, 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 really awakened by your voice. And I was like, hold on. And literally, you was talking about your Patreon that day I signed up. I was like, and then I got in here and I had I'm not going to expose the situation because it is a legal matter, but I just invested a lot of money in a business coach. And it was to take me to the next level of my business because I had reached, and I just felt this glass ceiling. And I'm thinking I need, all this stuff. And the lady stole my business concept.
Oh, wow.
And it's doing it, right? And this all just happened, coach, since I've been in the thing. Like I'm telling you, the devil been trying it. And the whole time I was like, God, I need somebody to help me get up because this is a lot. I was like, because when you give yourself to God, you also understand that He is your protector. And I think we say that in a physical, but we gotta understand we gotta let Him fight the battles for you. And you do what you need to do, but you gotta, you can't go back to the old Rosemary where you using it's and all this, that ain't the way.
Exactly.
Down, you know what I'm saying? You got a brand to protect. You work your butt off to get to this point. Don't you dare let no peasant or some peasantry activity get you down off your throne. But I needed somebody to show up and tell me that. And it was you.
Thank you.
And you put that in me. And like I don't know. Like I want you to know that just know that who you are and what you're doing is bigger than what you can ever imagine. You don't understand the people who need your voice. You don't understand beyond the negative, whatever they be saying. Because I be laughing on the replays. I be like, what did they be saying to her? I don't never watch you live. I always watch the Patreon. And so I was like, that whatever. Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't want anybody to stop me from what you have done to my life. Like I wouldn't want no negative comment to make you to ever stop. I don't care what nobody say to you. I don't care what happened. Please don't stop because I know I need you. I know I need you, and I'm happy to be here. But my question is, the thing that I struggle with the most, I had a big heart, And you were the first person, you know, I'm working through your ebook. I'm not done your audio book. I'm not done listening yet. But I can see, you know what I'm saying, why you're so passionate and why you're doing what you're doing. But I didn't understand emotional abuse. I've been very abused all my life, you know, not to say it like that, but just to say it like that, you know, I've dealt with a lot of abuse, but I didn't understand the mental and the emotional abuse that and how it really ties to you. And I found myself getting a lot of toxic friendships and relationships. So my question is, since we're talking about that, I have set a lot of boundaries. I've gotten rid of a lot of friends because I realized they weren't my friend in the first place. They was confused haters. And I was able to identify, but how do you guard your heart? Like, how did you step into that lane where you are now? Like how you passionately speak from that place of you're not going to play with me, this and the other. How do you start that process? So that's my question. Sorry, y'all, for too long.
Oh no. You're good. Actually, the thing that we're going to talk about, of course, is going to be talking about emotional abuse and verbal abuse and how it ties in together and affects you mentally. I think the thing that we have to understand is that, you know, just like I was saying in the very beginning, and when she asked me, you know, what is it that I do to remain emotionally stable? The thing that I always harp on when I'm talking to you guys on a regular basis is about your routine. Sometimes people take the routine and they just think that, oh yeah, well, that's just something that coach want us to do. No, when I'm telling you to do the routine is because I want you to recondition your mind. I want you to reprogram. You got to understand that we have years. Some of us have 30 and some of us have 40 years of being taught by wounded people who did not know that they were actually giving us the wrong advice or teaching us the wrong way of doing things. They were only doing what they were doing, you know, in order for them to be able to survive, you know. So we were taught, you know, at a young age, keep my business in my house. And no matter how dysfunctional or how broken your marriage or your relationship is, that you're supposed to stay no matter what, you know. And then you have somebody coming in like me now that's saying, hey, you know what? They made divorce for a reason. You know, just like you can get married, you can get divorced. If you're not performing well in that situation, then you have to part ways. The same thing goes on in your natural life. You got to understand that when you're dealing with your emotions, you will know when something is not emotionally serving you by when you come into that room with a person and you can start to feel the hairs on your skin start to stand up, or you start to feel extremely uncomfortable or unwelcome, or like, you know what I mean? Have you ever walked into a room and then you feel like it was a conversation happening there before you got there that has something to do with you? Then all of that, your gut feeling, all of that ties in together. But you will not know how to listen to yourself and listen to your body. And you'll always second guess yourself if you don't first control your emotions. You got to calm that down. So with doing that, I think the first thing that I done was, again, going right back to it, my routine. Being able to, you know what I'm saying, to know myself. That's right, Tasha. The spirit of discernment. The more that you pour positivity into your life, the more that you read, the more that you fast, the more that you meditate, the more that you picking up these self-help books, the more that you listening to motivational speaking and ministry, your body will naturally start to filter itself out. That's why it's important that when you're getting to this stage where you're actually working on, especially when you're talking about your emotions, because we are all emotionally driven people. We're taught to love. We're taught to be affectionate. We're taught to love and support everybody other than ourselves. So when we start dealing with our own emotions, we have to sit ourselves down, because there's a lot of times that we overreact about things. It's a lot of times that we overthink about things. It's a lot of times that we dig a little too deep or overanalyze things, and we make it to be what we want it to be. And then we have those false feelings. So we over there making ourselves sick. We over there hurting our own feelings. We over there ruining our own day. So to answer your question to that, the way that I know is to be following my routine. Making sure that I'm constantly making the right deposits inside of my life, that I'm constantly asking, you know, for that clean heart and the renewing of a spirit, constantly asking for that revelation. Give me revelation, give me clarity. Let me know what it is that I need to know out of this situation. Let me know what is the lesson that I'm supposed to be learning. I noticed that a lot of my emotions changed as well when I started being very direct in my prayers. right? You know, because it's one thing to pray, but it's another thing to pray and be extremely direct in the things that you want. When you want revelation, when you want clarity, when you want to be able to understand, then those are the things that you ask for. And when you ask for those things, it's important for you to make sure that your surroundings are clear, so that when your answers are coming, that you don't have to worry about it being blurry or smoky mirrors, or you not being able to understand what that dream meant, or what, you know what I mean, what that feeling is. You will know right off the bat, you know what, that's my confirmation. That's what I was been praying about. That's what I was thinking about. It'll automatically just come to you. Just like that. All right.
Awesome.
So when working on your emotions, following, making those positive deposits in your life, following your gut, your intuition, not second guessing yourself, trusting you and the decisions that you make for yourself, it will get you to that point where you will start to set those boundaries that you need in your life, and that you will be able to understand exactly what's happening right when it's happening in your life. Okay.
That was so good. How do you do a nightly routine? I haven't. I
You know
feel
what I
like
do? You can repeat your morning routine. Repeat your morning routine at night. It ain't nothing extra that you got to add to it. Nothing extra you got to add to it. Nothing more that you got to do to it. The only thing that I encourage people to do on a regular basis is maybe add some things, whatever you notice that you're lacking in your life, add that to your positive affirmations, right? That's it. The only thing I say about your prayer is, when you know that you're not being direct in prayer, get direct in your prayer. But for the most part, if you do what you're doing in the morning, you do that at night, you're waking up positive, you're going to sleep positive, which means at that moment as well, if you take your morning routine and you put it at your night routine, right? And you're doing it at the same time. Keep in mind, you're also doing a meditation during that time as well, right? Which then means that you're already putting your mind to rest. You're already relaxing your mind. You're already releasing those things. So when you lay down, you're going to remove that tired feeling that when you first wake up in the morning and you tired, you only tired because your mind never went to rest. So now you're redoing something in your life. And it's going to take a couple of days for you to get it the way you need it, but it'll happen if you're consistent.
thank you. I'm gonna let somebody else go. This is awesome.
Oh, you're more than welcome. All right, Leandra, you up next. What we got?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, doing
Oh,
well.
wait a minute. You done pulled up with the notepad and the pen. I know you came to work today. What's going on?
Yes. So my issue is, or my question is, how do you it's for me, it's like the very trust and integrity, because I've desired to be the person that says that they were going to, do something and, be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so just looking at you, I'm just like, oh, okay, she's actually the real deal. She ain't playing about her stuff. No way. So
Right.
I'm just like, just for me, it's the integrity and the trust, behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying integrity as far as when dealing with other people, or integrity when you're dealing with yourself?
Definitely, it's both.
A little bit of both. Well,
Yeah.
basic integrity is kind of simple. We make it hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody else is watching.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity for yourself would be, if I make a commitment to myself, I have to follow through with that commitment that I made to myself. So if I said that I'm going to follow this routine, if I said that I was going to get up and I was going to work out, if I said that I was going to learn how to meditate, if I said that I'm going to read 5 to 10 pages a day, then it's not about having somebody else step in and drill that over my head. It's about me holding myself accountable for, this is what you said you were going to do. Now go ahead and do it.
Do it.
Right. And as far as integrity with other people, that's going to be something that you have absolutely no control over. Right. And the reason why I say that is because you can't control what another person does. You know, you can't control what they do. You can't control what they say. You can't control how they move. But what you can control is how they deal with you. So you can tell in that situation if a person tell you that they're going to do something, and I'm very, very big about this. If I tell you that I'm going to do something, then I want to do exactly what I said that I was going to do. Y'all won't even believe how many times me and Josh have a conversation because I get on live and I'm on live talking about I want to do this, this, and this, and he's in the background like, wait a minute, we can't be doing that. We shouldn't do that. But you know what? I end up doing it anyway, even though it may go against the business side of it and not handling it that way. I do it because of my dedication to my people and me being committed to the commitments. When I say that I'm going to do something, I do it. So when you guys come to me and you say, you know what, you're the real deal. When you come to me and say, I respect your honesty, I respect your transparency, I respect the fact that when you say you're going to do something for us or we're going to do something together in a group, that's exactly what you do. I pride myself on that. I'm very big when it comes to integrity. I'm very big on when it's you be committed, be dedicated, be relentless, wake up and be determined. That's my life. I live by that. You know, and one of the and I see the fruits of it all the time. And if you utilize that in your own life and you hold yourself to those same standards that I want to be this particular person, then that same thing, same exact thing is going to happen with you as well. You will start to see your life do a complete shift. And anybody that you see that's not on that level or not even making strides to get there, you'll lose taste for it. I don't want to be around you. Like, I mean, I've done it in my own life. This time last year, I had friends. We had a whole group that we would hang out with, go chill with, go, you know what I'm saying, enjoy our Sunday brunches, you know, have a few drinks, do all of that. But now it's never that because we're just not on the same playing field, you know? And you'll start to feel that same exact way. So you can't control people. You can just control how you deal with those folks. But your integrity is solely on you. Okay. And thank you so, like I said again, thank you so much for being a part of the motivational community, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the fact that you all subscribe and you are active all the time too. I post something and you come right in and you're gonna comment, you're gonna view. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate you too. I love you. Thank you
I love
so
you
much for
too.
being a beacon of light.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So are you comfortable with your answer? You good?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't want you. And when y'all come on here, y'all ask me a question. If you do not get your answer, or if you're not sure, or anything, let me know so that I can go back. I want to make sure that I set everybody up for success. I want to make sure that you understand exactly what it is that I'm saying. Okay. We got any more questions? Oh yeah. Who else look at Stephanie on here? They're talking about most dangerous place you can be is in your feelings. You got that right. In your feelings and in your head. They about the same right there. Yes, very says yes, very true. Energy don't lie. It don't. Your energy will not lie. It will not lie. Never once. Even if they don't want to tell you what the conversation was or what was happening before you get there, you can still feel it. Your energy will not lie. I'm telling you, it'll be there. It was a question. Oh, there it is. I see it right. Oh, you was already bringing it up for me. It said, I would just like to thank you and appreciate your lives. This boot camp has helped me to realize that I have to relearn. Word, that is what's up, Michelle. I'm glad that we were able to help, man. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you tuning in and taking time out of your day to be a part of the class. So, boy, you going to him as soon as I can get to him. Josh, you beating me. How do you deal with the energy, using negative energy to down me or stuck wanting to get up and move, but I'm being scared? Oh, that's a good one. The negative energy. She says, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with the negative energy that's, I guess she's saying that is holding her down or making her feel stuck, not wanting to get up and move, but being scared. Okay, let me tell you something, Samaria. The first and foremost thing that you got to do is this part right here. Get away from it. And I don't care what the relationship is. If you're dealing with anybody and you already identify that fact that that person is carrying a negative vibe or negative energy or making you feel uncomfortable or disrespected, then you are already in the wrong company. You're already surrounding yourself with some folk that you ain't got no business being surrounded by. You know, I'm a firm believer in getting around like-minded people. Get around some folk that want to grow. Get around some folk that want to elevate, that want something more, something bigger, and something better out of life. To sit around anybody who's making you feel that type of way, any type of way that is negative, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like self-sabotaging, you know, and especially if you're already able to identify the fact that you're in that situation, and in that situation with dealing with that person, you feel stuck. That's the last thing that you want to feel in 2022, baby, is stuck. When you start to feel stuck, then that means that you're now inviting those spirits in as well, you know, because being stuck brings on that depression. It brings on anxiety. It brings on that stress, because now you feeling as though you're in this downward spiral and you're not able to get out. The first thing that you got to do is separate yourself immediately, expeditiously, unplug, detach, abort that mission. That's the answer for that. Abort that mission. Talking about I needed this. This is my question. Keisha Dior, what's your question? Did she have one that I missed, Josh?
I don't believe so. I think you were answering something.
Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't skipping nobody.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people may need advice on learning to be alone. I think a lot of people are in fear of being alone, and they just attach to anything, and then even if it's a negative thing. I don't know if you want to speak to that at all, but I think I don't know. That's what I get from people.
Yeah. We can talk about that as well. That I think that's gonna real life tie right back into, I think, one of the other classes that when we were talking about being afraid. Whenever you start your spiritual journey, your healing journey, you got to understand that you will start to crave a sense of isolation. You want to be by yourself, where you're able to read, where you want that quiet time, where you're able to understand exactly what it is that you're doing and why you're feeling the way that you feel. But what has happened is we've conditioned ourselves now, you know what I'm saying, from years on top of years of feeling as though we need other people. We need other people to feel relevant. We need other people to feel okay. We need other people to feel complete. And what we're doing right now, you know what I'm saying, within this class, the reason why we started with the rebuilding your foundation was to get people back to their core self. You will be amazed how many people have been in relationships that's not beneficial to them, that's not profitable for them, but they stay in these relationships because of the simple fact of, I don't want to die by myself. I don't want to come home to an empty house. But the thing about it is, why in the world would you want to come home to a house that's full of discord? You know what I'm saying? That's full of trauma, that's filled with nothing but anger, and dealing with somebody that halfway love you, halfway respect you. You know what I'm saying? That really you don't even know whether or not that individual want to even be in that relationship or not. You still stuck in the in-betweens when it comes down to that person. You know, and at the end of the day, it's like we've conditioned our minds to think that having a piece of somebody is better than having nobody. And what I'm trying to get you to do right now is let that type of thinking go. You have got to let that go. You know what I mean? You have to move away from that, because if you don't let that part of your thinking go, if you don't reprogram that, what you're going to do is you're going to do the same exact cycle that you're living in right now. You're going to do this with another person and another person and another person. So that goes back to the question that I was answering a minute ago when I said your prayer always should be, renew a right spirit, renew a clean heart in me, always waking up with gratitude and understanding that you do not want to repeat the same cycles that you've already been through in life. Having a piece of man or a piece of woman is not better than not having one at all. The devil is a lie. You should be in a place in your life right now where you understand, I'm not finna let no man nor woman walk in God's green earth. Do what? Play with me, baby. You won't play with me. I'll be by myself. I go to sleep by myself, wake up peacefully, go to sleep peacefully, go out throughout my day peacefully. Y'all know I'm not gonna run behind nobody. I can tell you that right now. That's not what we're going to do. And you have to develop that same type of mentality. I'm going to be good with or without you. I'm going to be successful with or without you. I'm going to have peace with or without you. And most importantly, I'm going to have peace in my house, even if that means I got to change houses. Okay, don't let that miss you, because some of y'all should have been changed residents. Some of y'all supposed to have been moved out. Some of y'all supposed to have been broke up. Some of y'all should have been divorced by now. But you're still holding on to these people. And it's not that you love them or that y'all in love with them. It's out of convenience. I need their part of the rent. I ain't making enough to pay the full part of the rent. You know what I mean? So it's a void filler. You're something to do when it's nothing to do. I really don't want to deal with you, but you do keep me company. I really don't want the relationship, but it's better that I have somebody to talk to. And the other reason why it's dangerous is, I'm glad you brought that up, Josh. It's very dangerous for you to stay in these type of relationships, because I want you to understand that as long as you're in those relationships, you will not grow. You won't grow. And the reason why you won't grow is because you will not be focused on your healing. You won't be focused on the things that's beneficial to you, because they are a living, breathing, moving distraction. And a lot of times you stay not just because they got the part of the rent. I'm going to be completely transparent. A lot of times you stay because you don't want to deal with your own demons. You let them stay because you don't want to deal with your own drama, your own trauma, your own generational curses and strongholds. But you got to understand that even living with folk or even bouncing from bed to bed will not fix you. It won't fix you. But what it will do is make the situation 10 times worse, because now you're going to be dancing with demons that you're not even familiar with. So it's a very dangerous game that you're playing with yourself spiritually. All right.
And it never ends well either. So even if
it
you
never ends
well.
well. And a lot of times when they do end, you end it with this: I'm never getting in another relationship. I'm so done with love. I can't even take this no more. I don't even want to be attached to nobody. I just want to live the rest of my life single. I just don't want this and I don't want that. And the reason why they feel that way is because of everything that they've experienced inside of that relationship. But another thing is, you have to, when you see something is not growing, when you see that it's not profitable, you got to move in that moment. You got to cut it off right then and there. We don't have time to waste anymore. We've wasted enough time already. We've been idle for a very long time already. It's time to move forward in life. All right. So we got Sharika E. Let's bring her on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got it now. I'm gonna let you do it.
Well, no. Don't try to let me do it. But I seen her down. Oh, and then I kicked her out. What happened?
You kicked? Not. I think maybe she was scared because she wasn't even on camera. I ain't trying to come out.
All right, so we got Julius Alexander. How do I move from a previous relationship when they found had trauma that prevented them from being 100%? Oh, how you move? I don't know why you asked me that, Julius, because I don't even be playing with people like that. You understand? So get ready for your answer. Julius is asking me, how do he move forward, or she? Yeah, how does he move forward from a previous relationship when they had trauma preventing them from being 100% invested? Ooh, baby. Look at here, Julius. You should have been gone a long time ago, baby. Your car should have been hugging the corner a long time ago. First and foremost, I want you to understand something. It ain't your responsibility to fix them. It ain't your responsibility to help them get rid of nothing. It ain't your responsibility to help them grow. It ain't your responsibility to help them evolve. If they're not 100% invested in that relationship when you are there, then guess what? It's two finger swinging, baby. You got to get up out of there the fast way. That's what we don't play around with. If they're not able to reciprocate the same energy that you're putting out, if them folks can't pick up what it is that you're putting down, then baby, you did yourself a very good thing by getting on through. It ain't about how you move forward from that. The thing about it is, if they already gone, then let them keep going. When folk want to leave, then let them leave. If they're not happy, then let them go find they happy. But you don't slow yourself up. You don't stop your process to go over there to coach them, to guide them, to talk them off of that ledge every time they want to go jump. Because see, that right there, we ain't doing that in this season, Julius. That's right. So you just go ahead and get on through. That's what you do. You say you said, how do you move on? You wake up one day. Okay. You wake up one day and you choose yourself. You wake up one day and you say that I am more important than this situation. Not only am I more important, you got to understand that you deserve more, that you deserve better, You have to wake up and you have got to make yourself a star player in your life, the most valuable person in your life. You have got to wake up and choose you. The morning that you wake up and you decide that you're going to put yourself first will be the first start, the door opening to you exiting that situation. But I can tell you this, as long as you stay in it, as long as you stay in that situation, you're doing nothing but self-sabotaging because you're very much aware. See, it's one thing not to know. But even the Bible says it's war to know to do good, but rather do wrong. When you know something is not good for you and you decide to go do it anyway, when you know it's not beneficial to you and you go do it anyway, whether we was in the Bible or in the world, it's still crazy to do. If you already know that it ain't gonna work, what are you doing? Wasting time. False hope. You're setting yourself up for failure. Move forward with your life, man. You got to wake up. You got to choose you. Most definitely. You got to put you first. How they say, I got to put me first, Lucius. Ain't that what Cookie Line told Lucius? Baby, I got to put me first, Lucius. You got to put you first. Who else we got on here, Josh? Find me another question. Who else got some questions? Shanika then ran. She had to get up. She got scared. Julius said, ouch. I'm sorry, baby, but I had to get you right, man. I had to make sure you knew what was up.
I think Julius may be the first man to join our live, at least on the Patreon.
Yeah, the first one that I've seen. She says, I'm new here. You're right. Thank you so much, Denise, and welcome aboard. We appreciate having you. Tasha, I don't know why y'all laughing. Y'all know how I cut up, man. I
saw some earlier questions, but I think you kind of covered it, like this one. I mean, just kind of throughout.
Yeah, you know, I did the emotionally stable. I got Lovely K. I answered hers.
Andre, she said, I mean, when you have a big heart, I think you covered that.
Wait a minute. Let me see. How do you deal with your emotions when you have a big heart? I didn't get that one. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you something about this. It's okay to have a big heart. And if you guys follow me on Facebook and on the other apps, then y'all know I've said this before. It's okay to have a big heart. It's okay to be loving. It's okay to be a giver. It's okay to be a supporter. But no matter what it is that you do, you still have got to have boundaries. You have got to have a cut off point. So how do you deal with your emotions when you have a big heart? You set your boundaries. You operate within those boundaries, within those guidelines. When you do your self-evaluation and you look at what you have to offer, what you have to give away, then you only give away what you have to give away. And when I say that, I mean without dipping into yourself. You don't take away from your cup to give to anyone. But anything that's on the outskirts of your cup, any of that overflow, then people are more than welcome to have. And the reason why a lot of us people who have big hearts, we feel drained and we feel tired and used and abused at the end of the day is because we've overly extended ourselves to people. We've gone outside of our way, even in situations where they're not even asking for help, but we lie to ourselves like, if I don't do it, it won't get done. If I don't come through, then how is it going to be this? And the truth of the matter is that's not having a big heart. That's not being generous. That's not being a person that's helping. You're actually becoming an enabler. You're preventing them from taking responsibilities for their actions. You're trying to save them from their consequences. You're trying to prevent them from running their head into a brick wall when they have already made a conscious decision to say, this is what I'm going to do. So when you have a big heart, it's all about your boundaries and operating inside of those boundaries. Okay. We have anything else on that, Josh? Got some new comments. So I would love for you to be my life coach. I got the link is in my bio. Link is in my bio. I provide life coaching on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays of every week. So if you guys still need a life coach, all you got to do is click that link that's inside of my bio on Facebook. It's LeroyHall.com. Go on there. He can put it in my comments. Josh will put it in my comments. And that way, if you need a life coach, you can always sign up for a life coaching. Oh, wait a minute. You already put it in there. Why you ain't tell me? I'm talking about, I've learned that it's okay for me to be generous, but I have. Exactly, Denise. Perfect. You have to have boundaries. You have to know when to cut it off. Wait a minute, we got Julius back. Julius came. He didn't came back from. He just agreeing with Denise. Julius, I thought you were coming back for more, man. I thought you was coming back.
You gotta get, he the first guy. You gotta get chill.
I love Julius, man. Julius said,
Hey,
Julius said he trying to figure out what to do. I don't blame you, but it got to be real tough over there too for you to come and get in the class and say, "Look, I got a question. I need to figure out how to get away from this here. I gotta figure this thing out." So we applaud Julius. We love him over here.
You can tell Julius got a big heart. That's his question was somebody else wasn't coming. I was coming at 100% for her, but she wasn't coming at, or whoever his partner is, they weren't coming at 100% for me. He a good dude, I can tell.
She says, how do I know if I'm the problem? By doing a self-evaluation. And I recommend self-evaluations on a regular basis. Sometimes number one, we got to understand that we're not perfect. We're not perfect. We're all flawed. We all have issues. We all have things that we have to take care of in our own life. We all have our own individual struggles. And one of the ways that you can really figure out what's going on in your life, you first have got to take some time to yourself. You got to learn how to fall back, do your evaluations and figure out, what am I doing to contribute to what it is that I'm going through in my life. Sometimes, I'm saying, it might be something big. Sometimes it may just be something small. You might just be a person that's nonchalant, that really don't care about much. And so when things go wrong or whatnot, you just have that attitude of, I really don't care. It really is what it is. And what happens is your partners start to feel that energy. They start to feel like you don't care. They start to feel like you're not invested. They start to feel like you don't love them, or you're not in that relationship with them like how they are. And that will cause a lot of problems in your relationship, and it will push the two of you apart. So fixing that problem right there, it's pretty easy. Just do a self-evaluation on yourself to kind of figure out, what it is that you're doing and you're not doing. Being a good listener will also help that situation as well. Sometimes we tend to tune people out when they start to tell us about ourselves. We're good at giving it, but we're not so good at receiving it. So sometimes you have to sit down and you have to, listen to what the other individual is saying. And then, having a conversation with yourself, like, am I really like that? Is that really what I'm doing? Because you got to understand, sometimes we're not giving, we would say something or do something, but they don't receive it the same way we gave it. And we may not be doing it in a malicious or a mean way, but that's how they took it. And sometimes we have to listen to what it is that they're saying and how they're feeling about it, so we can know what it is that we're doing to contribute to what's going on. So self-evaluations for you. Josh, give me another one. You got a couple, you got them sliding through right now. You got a lot of them coming right now.
It just came back to back to back this time. It's another one that kind of overlapped what you just said. So I don't know if you want to touch on that, or if you should go to the next one.
Okay, it says, I'm ashamed to say that I think I'm the problem in my relationship. How do I verify? Yeah, exactly. Same way. Yvette Jones, same way. Self-evaluation will get you together on that. Give me another one, Josh.
Yeah.
Says, I just recently got out of a relationship, or whatever you want to call it, about 2 months ago, and it was my first heartbreak. How do you know when you've healed from a relationship, or in general? Just Rika, you will know. It's the thing about this is, it's never going to be a complete heal. Okay, once no matter what it is that you go through in life, pain will always change you. You're never going to be the person that you were before. And what happens is, we spend a lot of time trying to find that person. We try to find that person and bring that person back. And what we do is like, I'm going to go find myself again, girl. I just need to know where my this and where my that. The truth of the matter is, you don't want that person. You don't want that person back, because if you had known the things that you know right now, then you wouldn't have been in the situation that you're in right now. You don't want to find that person. You don't want to go get that person. What you want to do is create this person, the person that you're becoming, because you went through that hardship, that relationship, and it was traumatic and it was painful for you. What you have to do now is look at the now, live in the now, and understand, what, that situation was bad. I was heartbroken. I was hurt. I was this, I was that. But you don't put your focus on that relationship. You don't put your focus on that trauma. You don't put your focus on the hurt feelings, the backstabbing, the slander. You don't put your focus there. You put your sure focus on what was the lesson that I had to learn in that situation. That's what you want to focus on. I went through that relationship and it taught me this, and this. And you take those things that you learned from that relationship and you utilize them in the life of the woman that you're becoming right now. Because I was heartbroken and I didn't question things in this relationship, my next relationship, I'm going to be more vocal. I'm going to work on my communication skills. I'm going to ask more questions so I know exactly where that individual stands. You know, it's different for different people, but one of the things I think that are always going to remain the same is understanding that you always focus on the lesson, never on the heartbreak. Always focus on the lesson, never on the betrayal. You know, and that's not going to be the end of you. That's the end of one situation that you were involved in. Because I noticed you said a relationship or a situationship, and the best thing that you could have done in that type of thing anyway was get the hell on through, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, they had you stuck in the in-between. So you don't even know if you was in a relationship or a situationship. So yeah, you did exactly what you were supposed to do, aboard that mission. So yeah, clap your hand, pat your own back, and tell yourself you got this and keep going. Don't fold on yourself. Stay relentless, baby. You got this. You ain't did nothing but dodge a bullet. Says, how do I separate what's personal and what's necessary in a relationship, at jobs, etc.? When you go to work, you shouldn't be focused on nothing but your check. That's how you separate that. When you clock in, y'all know I'm real, baby. This is how you gonna get it how you live over here. Listen, I don't do no watering it down. That's not me. I can't do it. I cannot. It's me. It's simple. When you go to work, you go into work to work. Understand, them folks on your jobs are not your friends. Them not your friends. Them not your buddies. None of that. Understand that. Them folks will stand right there, smile up and grin up in your face. And as soon as massa come from back there in the back, from out that board meeting, they will throw you slam up under the bus. Understand that. Well, as soon as they walk out there, oh yeah, well, he ain't working. She ain't did this. She ain't did that. When I was at working a 9 to 5, I didn't look at nobody like they was my friends. That will be the very first place that you will end up pissed off at is right there at that job. I want you to understand. Stop going in. You going in there to get paid. When you clock in, you should see nothing but dollar signs. When you clock out, you should see the end of your check. That's it, and go on home. That's how you separate it. Your job should not be your dating place. Your job should not be your counseling session. Don't fall up in that HR room talking about, I just want to talk to you about my life. Honey, they are not there to counsel you about your life. They there to counsel you to find out what they can do to make these 8 hours better for you while you on this job. They can care less what you go through when you get home. Can you perform for me? Can you do well when you get here? When you clock in over here, are you in the right mindset to get our job done? That's what their responsibility is. That's it. That's all. It's a separation, baby. Don't mix it up.
I just want to chime in. I'm white collar corporate. I like a little upper.
No, listen to Josh now.
Do not get first. HR is not your friend. They are there to protect the corporation. So anything that you say will be used against you. Don't give people anything to gossip about your personal life about at work, because it will travel, especially if it's juicy. People ain't got nothing better to do but talk about your business at work. So I would just stick with streets advice personally.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, don't do it. And y'all be laughing. I be for real. Y'all cutting up in the comments. I'm dead serious. I'm over here serious. What are some tips dealing with family that's against my growth because they're not going? Oh, I like that one. You know why I like this one, Josh?
Why you like that one, Street?
Do my cutoff have a respect the person?
Nah.
Which means, Miss Melissa, if your family members are not on board with your growth, then you go ahead and cut them off, just like you would do a friend, just like you would do a relationship, just like you would do a job ship. Baby, I want you to understand something. Ain't nobody getting no passes. It is what it is. And sometimes your family members are the most toxic people ever. Why? Because they started at the bottom with you. They know where you coming from. They know that they had the same amount of time. They had the same exact type of opportunities, and they decided to be lazy. They decided to do what they wanted to do. So the last thing that they they want you to do is step up and be more than them when they already see that you've done. Wait a minute, if you do that, then folk gonna be looking at me like, well, I didn't do that. They don't want you to grow because they don't want to grow. You know what I'm saying? But so you got to get to that point where you understand this got to be done with or without them. You can't be focused on who's going to come along, because some of the folks that started out with you would not be the same people that's going to end with you. Some people are just temporary, and it's sad to say, but that's also including some family members. Some family members just will not make the cut, baby. You are, yeah, I have to leave you where I met you at, baby. Over there, you think I won't cut you loose? Try me and see. Be sitting over there trying to call me, talking about you ain't showed up to nothing, and I didn't. Why? Because true peace mean I ain't got to deal with nobody or nothing that I don't want to deal with. She said, I always wanted to ask you, what ministry do you listen to? Man, listen, I listen to everybody. I can't even tell you. I'm going to tell you, I listen to Sarah Jakes. I listen to T.D. Jakes. I listen to Juanita Bynum. I listen to Joel Osteen. I listen to, man, everybody. Everybody, black, white, Asian, Cambodian. I listen to everybody. If they got a word for me, baby, then I'm over there to get it. I go, sometimes I just randomly go to YouTube and just put in whatever, motivational speaking, or just go in and just listen to ministry. It doesn't even matter to me. I listen to all of them, but Sarah Jakes is one of the ones that I listen to a whole lot. I actually really, really like her. Says, what do you do when you feel pressure to have sex in a marriage and they use that? Oh
no.
Let me drink my tea. Hold on.
I'm gonna be on mute on this one.
See, wait a minute. You done caught me off guard. Wait a minute. I ain't used to these kind of questions. Boy, you done took it all the way there. She said, what do you do when you feel pressure to have sex in a marriage and they use that what you want to do another will and they tired of waiting? Listen. First thing first, you got to get to the what's the problem. You feel me? Like and that's important. You got to get to the what's the problem, because a person is not going to say to you in a marriage that if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it and they tired of waiting. That means that they've had this conversation with you many times before. That means that this person have come to you and have already let you know, look, I'm trying to get down with the get down. Are you on board or not? And the answer that I have got to give you, because that is a really good question. What do you do in that situation? You got to be open and you got to be honest. What is the reason that you're not being sexually active with your mate? What is the problem? What is it about that marriage or that relationship that's making you not want to be affectionate or intimate with that person? Because if you're just holding out and you're not being open and honest about the situation, then y'all know how I feel about it. If they go and do it, then you open the door for them to do so. If they go and they leave, then you open the door for them to do so. I'm a firm believer in, one, I'm not finna sit up here and keep asking you, telling you the same thing over and over and over and over. That's like begging, you know? And if it was vice versa, I would tell that individual the same exact thing. I mean, if you're not sexually attracted to them, then let them know. If you're not really in that relationship and invested in that person the way that they are like you, then let them know. But for you to stay inside of that marriage and still not perform the way that you need to inside of that marriage, I feel like that's unfair, not just to them, but that's also unfair to you as well. And see, in that type of situation, if they go and cheat, then or go and sleep with somebody, because I can't even say cheat, because they already told you that they was going to do. Cheating is when they sneak and do it. It ain't cheating when I told you that this is what I'm going to do. At that point, you don't have a leg to stand on. You don't have a dog in that fight. Why? Because I came to you. I let you know what it was and what I wanted from you, and you still chose to do what you wanted to do. So now when I go over here and bust it open, I don't want to hear nothing. And I mean, that's about as real as I can tell you. You know what I mean? For that type of question, you have to be open. You have to be open. You got to be honest. If it's a medical issue, talk about it. If you're not physically attracted or sexually attracted, talk about it. Whatever it is that you got going on, if you're married to that individual, y'all should be able to have a conversation with each other that will iron this whole entire thing out. Maybe something happened a couple of months ago or the last time that turned them off, and they're not really sure about how they feel about this. Put it on the table, talk about it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that can definitely cost you your relationship. Give me another one, Josh. I ain't know how I was going to answer that, boy, but I couldn't do nothing but be truthful.
And that's the
But
last.
honey, yeah, she went deep. She went deep. She wasn't playing. She went deep.
I think you need to book a session on that one. That's so many layers to that.
Yeah, it's a lot of layers, but I think the first thing that need to be understood is definitely the communication. When it's something like that, you have got to talk about it. You gotta be able to communicate with them.
I 100% agree. But that's the last question.
That's the last one.
Yeah, 8 minutes left. If somebody else has a question.
Anybody else? Anybody else got a question? Because we about to get into. Y'all got y'all pencils. Y'all got y'all pencils. Y'all got y'all red pens and your notepads. Because we're gonna get into this thing. One of the things that I got something.
I was gonna ask, do you want me to get
oh, no problem. I don't mind, man. Listen, I told y'all I was gonna make up for the missing class that we had. So I wanted to, to make sure that I done something a little bit different, talk to you guys to make sure that, everybody was on the same page and get this together. That's right, Cash Dior. We in session now. Okay, first thing I want to talk about real quick, right, is I want to talk about emotional abuse. Right. Okay. Because the question that came to me, she wanted to know, she said, well, Street, can you expand, give us a talk about emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and how does it tie all in together? All right. First thing first, at first she thought that it was the same thing. After studying this for emotional abuse and verbal abuse, I found out that it is very much alike. Very much of the same thing. And the reason why I say that is because when we're talking about emotional abuse, I'm going to give you the difference first. So right on the top of your page, real quick, I want you to write down emotional abuse, right? Emotional abuse. And the first thing I want you to put up under emotional abuse is number one, is when they toy with your emotion or toy with your feelings. Toy with your feelings. That's your first note. Toy with your feelings. All right. And how do I mean they toy with your feelings, right? If you ever been in a relationship with a person and when you are dating that individual and you know that the relationship is not a 50-50, that person knows that you love them. That person knows for a fact that you're willing to go from zero to prison in behind them. That person knows for a fact that if they tell you that they're going to leave, then boom, automatically you calm down. All of a sudden you become cool with things that you wasn't cool with. You all of a sudden just become okay. And what happens in that moment, that person gains control over the situation. In that moment, that person now, even though you may have had a good argument and everything that you was feeling was very much relevant, but because they know that you have a fear of losing them, they toy with your feelings. They toy with your heartstrings. So what they do is they get you, they say that they're going to leave when in all actuality, they have no real desire to leave. They have no real plan to leave. And they know for a fact that you don't want them to leave. Right? So they know that if they say that, then they can mind screw you into doing what? Being quiet. Being quiet and being cool with a situation that you know that you really and truly you're not cool with. All right. So that's your first example. They toy with your feelings, right? The second one is when they make you feel less than, right? They make you feel less than, like you always gotta compete, like you're never good enough. You're never good enough. It's always something about you that they got something to say about. about you. All of these are forms of emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is when they go outside of their way to try to make you feel less than, to make you feel as though you're not worthy, or you're, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll get you in the situation. I'm gonna give, like I said, I believe in giving you guys examples. The thing about it is, every single time you're dating somebody, and every single time somebody say something to them or compliment them or do this or do that, then all of a sudden they feel the need to run and tell you about it. They feel the need to jump in. Hey, well, you know, such and such told me, and whoop de whoop, because they want you to feel like you have some type of competition. It's other people that want me. I got other options. I got folks that's out there, and they say that because they want to mind screw you into thinking that you got to step up your game, or you're not enough, or you better do this, or this person is going to come. The devil is alive. You want that person, go be with them. If you ever got to choose in between me and somebody else, I want you to go ahead and choose them. Because no matter how many times a person tell you that you're beautiful, no matter how many times a person tell you good morning, no matter how many times a person tell you this, that, and the third, if that overpowers the love and the respect that I have for you in this relationship, if you're more going over there, because one thing you ain't gonna do is make me feel like I gotta compete with nobody. And when you in these situations, and understand something, this is a red pen note right here. Put this out to the side. Put this out to the side. I want you to understand something. Even in these situations, you can never be enough for the wrong person. When that person ain't for you, that person just ain't for you. Period. You will never be enough for the wrong person. When that is not your person, then I want you to understand that no matter how much you love them, it won't be enough. No matter how much you compromise with them, it won't be enough. If how much understanding you give them, you will not be enough. They will still find something negative about you to dwell on. You will never be enough for the wrong person. That's a red pen right there. Emotional abuse is also a part of what they do is they'll try to instill fear. Yeah, they'll try to put in fear, intimidation, humiliation, and it start out through jokes, you know what I'm saying? Little small jokes, things that people will say and do, you know what I'm saying? They'll wait till y'all get around a group of people and they'll go outside their way to try to belittle you, to try to slander you, to try to make you feel less than, or to try to embarrass you. And if you find this happening to you on a regular basis, every time you get in front of a group of people, I notice that I become the butt of your jokes. Every time you get around a group of people, you want to talk about, oh yeah, well, she don't do this and she don't do that, and she don't know how to do this and she don't know how to do that, then yeah, that's a form of emotional abuse. They're going outside of their way to try to make you think that you're not the person that you know that you really and truly are. Okay. And you got to understand too, emotional abuse, another part, this right here is extremely important. It says, you know what I'm saying? It'll try to rob you of your self-identity and dignity and self-worth. If you're not careful, emotional abuse will destroy your whole entire view of yourself. All of a sudden, you won't even be viewing you from your eyes. You'll be viewing yourself through the things that they say, through their eyes. When they tell you that you're not good enough, you will believe it. When they say that you can't do it, you will start to believe it. They will start having you be in a position where you start to second guess yourself. You ever seen somebody in a relationship, and when they in that relationship, they'll be like, I don't know where they begin and I end. I don't know where I lost myself at, girl. I don't even know my favorite color no more. Don't even know my favorite food. I don't know if I'm coming or going. It's because they've been in this relationship with these individuals that they have spent their whole entire life catering to, doing for, and have now adapted to what it is that they're saying. Even though you may have liked it, but before you met them, you might have liked everything about you. But now that you're in a relationship with that individual that's constantly pointing out your flaws, that's constantly going outside of their way to try to destroy you as a person, now all of a sudden you standing in the mirror and you can't even recognize yourself. Because that person have picked you apart so much. That person have beat you so much that no matter how many times somebody tell you that you're beautiful, No matter how many times somebody tell you that you're worthy, no matter how many times people tell you that you're wanted and that you're important, it means absolutely nothing to you because they've tricked you into valuing their opinion overall. So it doesn't matter if 100 other people came and told you. That one person still didn't say it. And that's what you will hold on to. You will start measuring your life, your success, your happiness, and your joy off of that individual. Emotional abuse is allowing somebody to come in and control, take total and complete control over your mind and how you view you. And if you're not careful, a lot of these people that are emotional abusers as well, they'll trick you into thinking that the people that surround you, your friends, your close friends, and your family, those who have done you absolutely nothing, you'll find that they'll try to isolate you from those individuals as well. And y'all ain't gotta say nothing in the comments because some of y'all don't, y'all know y'all guilty. You didn't cut off your best friend who ain't never did you nothing. You didn't cut off your favorite cousin that you did brunch with and on Saturdays you went out with, you know what I'm saying, and did your thing. You didn't cut them off because that person that told you that they was a hater, then told you that they don't mean you no good, then told you, oh, they just want your relationship, then told you, oh yeah, they just jealous of you, and it ain't had nothing to do with that. It was just that your best friend or your favorite cousin seen through their BS and seen that, yeah, that person is coming into your life to ruin your life. That person is coming into your life, and that person that got no good intent, they are going to run you in the ground. And instead of your cousin or your best friend being quiet about it, they coming over there, they being vocal. Why? Because you ain't finna play with me like how you play with her. Wasn't that Ike and Tina? But and Jackie wasn't finna let Ike play with Tina. And Jackie told her, look, if you want to stay and keep beat upside your head, then I'm gonna have to leave you over here. Sometimes that's just how you gotta be. Sometimes that's just how it has to go. Every friend that you have is not fake. Every best cousin that you have, I say best cousin because sometimes the cousin is the best friend. Every best cousin that you have is not being fake. They're not jealous. They're not envious of your life. Some people see that BS way before it gets to that point. Anybody that comes into your life you should not have to cut off everybody in order for you to have a happy relationship. You shouldn't have to cut off everybody in order for your relationship to grow, for it to evolve into something beautiful. That's all part of building an empire. You bring you and your people, I bring me and my people, and we come together and we create something that is beautiful, something that is beneficial to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's just how this goes. But right now, the dating pool got pee in it. Everybody want to use, want to abuse, want to take advantage of, want to come in and walk people like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Want to come into the relationship. And it's not to be loved. It's not to be respected. It's not to cater. What this is right here, you want to come in here and you want to be in a relationship with me because you done prayed on me from over there. You see that I'm loving. You see that I have a good heart. You see that I'm the type of person that's willing to make sacrifices for whoever I'm in a relationship with you. So it's not about love. It's about survival. You want to date me because you know for a fact that if you were in a relationship with me, then I'm going to be your backbone. I'm going to be your cushion. I'm going to make sure that you don't go without. That's not a real relationship. That's a situationship. That's what I be talking to y'all about, situationships. That's what that is. Oh, we together because it's convenient. We together because neither one of us want to be alone. We're together because it's a habit. We're together because it's easy. And I don't want to learn somebody else's favorite color. I don't care to learn somebody else's favorite food. This right here, it just works for us. And those are the relationships that you got to get out of. Because what you're doing is you're damaging yourself mentally. You're telling yourself that you don't deserve anything other than that. You're telling yourself that you don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to have peace. You don't deserve to have a healthy relationship. And all of that is a lie. You do deserve it. You do deserve to be happy. You do deserve to be in a relationship that is healthy. And you also deserve to have healthy connections with other people as well. You ain't got to be the only person that I go out with at all. And what I also learned in this is that this right here is also psychological abuse. And the reason why they say that is because this type of behavior will lead to PTSD. Did not know that. That was something that was brand new that I learned, and I did not know that until I started studying this. And I was like, wow, completely blown away. But I can honestly see how. And I'm going to read to you exactly what it says. It said emotional abuse is an abusive behavior that is physical, that isn't physical, which may include verbal aggression, intimidation, manipulation, humiliation, and most often unfolds as a pattern of behavior over time that aims to diminish another person's sense of identity, which I told you, and self-worth, which I told you, and which often results in, get this, anxiety, make sure y'all writing them down, depression, suicidal thoughts, or behaviors with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Did not know it until I started reading about it. That's how important it is for you to make sure that you're connected to the right people. That's how important it is that when you're having conversations about dating and connecting yourself with individuals, that you do it thoroughly, that you don't take no chances. So even though, we'll say some stuff and we're laughing and, you know what I'm saying, we're laughing it up, it's all in humor. But this situation, when you're dealing with emotional abuse and verbal abuse, all of this ties into mental abuse. It all ties into your view of yourself. A lot of times when you sitting up and you're saying, I never had suicidal thoughts before. I never really been depressed before. I never had anxiety before. But now that I'm in this relationship, then this is what I'm dealing with. Then now we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to look at the way that you're being talked to. We need to look at the way that you're being treated. We need to listen to the jokes that's being told. We need to listen to the way that, are you upset when people come around, like how you interact with other people. You have got to get to a place when we said something about, doing a self-evaluation and being able to look over your life and make conscious decisions and doing things that are best for you. This right here is what we were talking about. A lot of times we just take things as, and be like, oh yeah, well, they just being funny. They just, it's just a joke. No, everything ain't a joke. And sometimes people will say things in a joking manner, but they mean exactly what it is that they were saying. So that's the reason why there's a lot of things that I don't joke about. A lot of things that I don't play about, like when it was, for example, one thing for me is when it comes down to like electronics, I suck. I can tell you that I suck because I do. I suck. But I ain't gonna let too many people tell me that I suck before I start saying something. I know that it's certain things that I know and certain things that I don't know. But I'm gonna get frustrated or I'm gonna get pissed off if I got to constantly hear that, And that's just how you have to be, even in your own life. You don't need somebody to always throw up what your weaknesses are. You don't have to always have somebody come back and beat you over the head with what you consider to be your flaw. You are very much aware of that. A person that genuinely loves you, that supports you, that that want to see you operating at 100%, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to automatically know that that's not your strong area and you ain't got to ask them to do it. They already own it. They already jumping into it. Why? Because I already know this right here. I don't even want you to feel no way about it. It's already done. We already took care of that. Let's move on to the next thing. That's being in a relationship, a partnership, a marriage. That's what that is. That's healthy living. Knowing where your strong points are, my strong points are. We coming together. I'm picking you up, you picking me up, and we're constantly pouring in good energy to each other. If that's not what's happening in that relationship, then you already know that you're in the wrong relationship. Says, yes, definitely know about the increase in anxiety. Oh, word, man. I'm telling you, I didn't even know that all of this was in there until I actually started studying it. I really and truly didn't. I just, and then it was crazy because somebody asked me the question inside the Patreon and was like, can you speak on this? And when she asked me that, I went straight to start looking up stuff. And I was like, wow, this is a whole lot deeper than what we thought it was. Says, girl, tell it. Thank you for the confirmation. You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Verbal abuse. All right. We moving on through this thing. That's what I'm talking about. Verbal abuse. Y'all got y'all pens out? Man, listen. They got on here, being condescending, sarcasm, belittling, even when joking, manipulation. He got the notes up there for you. Write them down. Write down. Let me give you some time to write them. Criticism, blaming. I got the whole one of them because y'all ain't gonna even believe what else I learned on here. Gaslighting. I got one more. Withholding or ignoring. Did y'all know that ignoring a person that you're in a relationship with, did y'all know that that was a form of emotional abuse?
Yes, they call it stonewalling. It's called stonewalling. Yeah.
Y'all write that down. What Josh just said, stonewalling. Did not know that, because I'm gonna tell you, I have to be honest. I will ignore I'm a Pisces, baby. I will ignore the crap out of a person. I'm telling you, if you push me to that level, I will straight up ignore you. I don't have nothing to say to you. It is what it is. And sometimes that ignoring with me, it can go on. Yeah, I'm telling you, it can go on. And maybe I shouldn't say it now as much. I don't do it as much now, but in my day, oh yeah, boy, I'm famous for the ignore. I'm not calling, I'm not texting, inboxing, I'm not concerned. I'm moving on about my day. But you have to been in, push me to that level. You know what I mean? That where I feel like if I say something, then it's going to be the wrong thing. You know what I mean? And I'd much rather not say nothing at all than for me to say something and then it goes all the way left. But when I was studying this, I learned that, say we're talking about the communication aspect to it, wherein understanding that some couples, if you know that you have that type of temper where you will go off, it's okay to step back and allow the dust to settle. It's okay to step back and allow, everybody to get back in position to understand that this is about to be a healthy conversation. But before you go into the ignoring, let it be known. Hey, look, we can revisit this conversation later. I can talk to you about this later, because if I talk to you about this right now, it's going to go left. And before I say a lot of things that I really don't mean, I would much rather not have this conversation. So that is the healthier approach to that, instead of the ignoring. And we learning this together, y'all, because y'all know I'm transparent, and I tell y'all if I was doing that was me. What you got, Josh?
I'm gonna say it probably wasn't you. I mean, I don't know. I never met the old you, but typically how it works, I dated a narcissist, like narcissist personality. Just I dated that. It was hell. But basically, what they'll do is how it works is they'll gaslight you, or you'll catch them doing something that they shouldn't have done. Basically, blame shifting, or it's like, oh, you was texting this dude. Why were you texting this dude? And then like why you like, how do you know you're texting this dude? Blah 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 blah. And then they'll that's when they'll stonewall. So you caught them in something. They don't want to admit, accept the responsibility or get caught in that. So what they'll do is they'll stonewall and they'll disconnect. So just like you were saying earlier, with some people, you don't want to leave the relationship. You want to work it out. You want to fix it. I'll reach out to them, say, hey, like, let's talk about that. Like, I just want to express that I don't appreciate that. I found that disrespectful. But they're already stonewall. They're going to ignore your calls. They're going to ignore everything and just give you the silent treatment until you or the person that was wrong, they're like, okay, let's just work this out. Like, I don't want to, let's not throw it all away. So what they'll do is they'll initiate, the gaslighting. They'll initiate the stonewalling. They'll initiate, you cheating or whatever. And then they'll create that stonewall as an abuse to you for you calling them out. So it's a mental conditioning of it. Whereas for you, it's probably just, somebody did push your button so many times. Now I got to disconnect. For them, it's a part of the manipulation tactics that they're naturally accustomed to. You should really look up NPD. This is really crazy, but
I'll make sure you send that to me so that I can look it up. But yeah, see, like in my situation, it would definitely be something that's then went on that I did not like. I did not appreciate. And I know that if I say something or whatever, I'm already up here. I'm already on 100,000. I'm already risk it all in behind it. So before I do this, then I'll just not talk. I'll just not say anything at all. But I think that, like, reading this and kind of understanding where it goes, I just want to make sure that, even regardless of the situation, whether it was them or it was another person, before you actually put up that wall, before you actually get to that point where, you know, you go into, you know, ignoring a person. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that when you ignore a person, that is also a form of emotional abuse. So if you didn't know it, like I didn't know it, if you didn't know it, now we are aware of that. So yeah, let's make sure that we make the proper steps to communicate what needs to be communicated, which is, I don't want to talk right now. I don't want to talk right now. Let me process what it is that I'm feeling, because I don't want to say or do anything that's going to be, you know what I'm saying, me overreacting or saying a bunch of stuff that I know for a fact that I can't get back. And also understanding that, you know, one of the things that you have to understand, all of everything that we're talking about, when it comes down to emotional abuse and verbal abuse, both of those things affect you mentally. Both of them affects you mentally, and it puts you in a position where, you know, even if a person is jokingly speaking about something on you, you know what I'm saying, maybe you don't have a butt. I'm just going to use that as a thing, because it's a lot of women that be in here, and all the women want butts. So if, you know, if you up here and every time, you know, you got something going on and the person is just like, yo little this and yo little that, and you really want a big one, that's going to bother you. So now here you go running to Miami. You know what I'm saying? If the same thing, you know what I'm saying, with any other body part, oh yeah, your stomach is just a little bit too big, or you done gained a little bit too much weight. And they may say that in a joking way. Maybe it's over dinner, like, oh, you getting another plate, but you already know, you know what I'm saying? And now that negativity, that things that they just put out, they just planted that seed within you, you know what I'm saying, you know, to make you be self-conscious about yourself, self-conscious about your weight because of what it is that they said. She says guardianship court, or I stay in contact. It was very toxic. What she say? Guardianship court, stay in contact and very toxic. Deep in whole while out the semi is help. Okay, see, we got to come back. We got to come back. I already did the questions. I already did the Q&A. Right now we're in the middle of class, love. Give us a second and we'll revisit your question. Okay. Right now.
I was gonna say we're going through the class pretty quick, so we might have some time at the end.
Yeah, we might have a little bit of time right there. So, you know what I'm saying? You always want to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, her bringing this topic to the class to say that this is what we needed to talk about. I think it was extreme, you know, it was really, really good. And I appreciate that, because a lot of this stuff we didn't know that we probably ourselves, you know what I'm saying, we may have been doing ourselves. We may have been making the jokes. We may have been the person that's, you know what I'm saying, was doing these things and not sure about what it was that we were doing and how we were making the other person feel. So with that being said, you know, yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie, Leandra, a lot of the stuff that when I was doing this, a lot of the stuff I was like, oh wow, that's me. What? That's me. It was a couple of the, but not knowing that that's what it was, because, you know, I'm good to tell some jokes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like ignoring the person. I'm good. I'm good at telling the jokes, but to, like, you know, and also the intimidation. And I talked about that once before on the on my live. Y'all gotta stop giving people more power over your life than they deserve. You know, and that's one of the biggest things right here. It's like, you know, we get into these relationships, and that's the reason why I promote not being codependent. The reason why I go so hard on that is because you will be out here real life living your life for another individual. You a real life being out here. You know what I'm saying? If they don't call you, your day thrown off. If they don't show up to do this, then you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't function. You got this going on. You losing weight, you gaining weight. You know what I mean? When you get to that place in life where you're that attached to an individual, you need to step back anyway. You need to fall back just a little bit anyway. Nobody should have that type of control over your life that it causes them to, if they don't speak to you, your day is ruined. Girl, you better get out my face, because if you think I'm about to, man, you about to have my day my way, I'm gonna tell you that right now. You should not, nobody should have that type of control over you. That, you know, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm about to call you, and when I call you, I mean, unless it's a legitimate situation. You know what I mean? Because things will happen. A legitimate situation of them calling you, and it's something that you guys got to discuss, and that's one thing. But don't call me to ruin my day because your day ruined. That's that. No, we got to draw the line right there. And then, you know what I'm saying? And also, I wanted to make sure that I put emphasis on this one right here. Manipulation and twisting conversations. That's the one. That's the one. Make sure y'all got that up under verbal abuse, because we need to make sure that's in red pen. Put that in a red pen. Manipulation or twisted conversations. I want you to understand something. First of all, I want to talk to you about closing a situation, right? When you have something that you need to say to an individual, it is not a question. You giving me the respect that I deserve, I'm not asking you for it. You loving me the way that I deserve to be loved, I'm not asking you for that. If you come into a relationship and you are not able to provide the things that's necessary in that relationship, I will leave you alone, period, point blank. And the reason why I say it starts with these twisted conversations, especially when you're dealing with a manipulator, you can have a conversation with a person and you can say exactly what it is. But if you leave that sentence open to make them think that what they feel about that is going to change your outcome, yeah, then you did it wrong. You did it wrong. Going into that conversation, let me make it plain. Going into that conversation, if you walk into it and you're like, well, I just, I ain't really too sure about how I feel about it, but this is what I'm going to do. No, that's not how you go. You don't go cowardly at all. You don't go mumbling. You don't go crying. You don't go over there, you know what I'm saying, doing the absolute most. It's very direct. This is what I feel. This is what I'm willing to do. And understand that if this do not get fixed, I have absolutely no problem with exiting this. That's clear, that's uncut, and it's very direct. A lot of times the reason why our words get twisted in conversations is because of our delivery. It's how we come about it. We walk into it and, like I said, we're speaking like cowards. We're walking in and we're whispering. We're walking around and we're not speaking with any type of aggression, no type of passion, no type of authority in our voices. So when we go, people automatically feel as though I can play with you when you get here, because I can tell that you ain't even sure about what it is that you're saying already. So I'm going to sit quiet so I can listen to it. And after I listen to what you say, and then guess what? I'm going to twist that all the way around to make it be what I need it to be in order for me to gain control of the situation. You ain't finna play with me though. And that's the type of, okay, y'all. We ain't finna do that. Very direct. Very direct in what it is that you feel, very direct in what that situation is, so that it's understood. This is what I feel, and this is why I feel this way. That's why it's extremely important when things happen in your relationship, you don't let it linger. Don't let it happen on Monday and then decide that you want to have a conversation about it on Friday, because if they anything like me, they not gonna care. That happened on Monday. If you was offended by that, you should have talked to me about that on Monday. Don't wait until I come. And now I have my issue that I want to talk about. Now you want to talk about what happened on Monday. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. We're going to talk about this. And when next Monday come around, if you still feeling Monday-ish, we'll talk about it on Monday. But I'm not finna talk about that right now, because that's what happened. And that right there is what we were talking about when we were talking about doing what? Blaming, shift blaming. Instead of us dealing with what needs to be dealt with in this moment, you bring up something else. So now that you done brought that up, we offer what I came to you for. Because now I gotta come over here, and before you know it, if you're one of those type of people that get tired and you hate a whole bunch of back and forth and you get frustrated, then guess what happens? They didn't won that conversation. They won that battle, because now here you are, you done close. Me, I'm the type of, I don't have nothing else to say. Now I done shut down already. I don't want to talk no more. I'm about to hang up the phone. I'm about to go in the room, close the door. Now everything that was supposed to been getting taken care of is not taken care of. And guess what? That same situation, just because it happened that day, it's going to happen again, because it was never resolved. A problem not taken care of in a relationship will forever be a problem. If it's not addressed, if it's not ironed out, if we haven't come to some type of healthy compromise, then you're going to continue to have that same exact fight over and over and over again. That's how it works until the lesson is learned, until both people are on the same page and able to sit and not just speak, but also listen. And not just listen, but to also comprehend, to understand what that other person is trying to get conveyed over to them. Revelation and clarity is everything inside of a relationship. Let me see what else I had on here. I think y'all know what criticism is. Um, I think that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it right there, y'all. So that is what I had to say about emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and how it ties in to how it affects you mentally. Those two, there's really no difference, guys. So to answer your question, thank you so much for asking. Emotional abuse and verbal abuse are very much alike. And if you Google it, it's going to say that they are both a form of psychological abuse. So those two things, when we're trying to see which one is this and which one is that, they have a lot of similarities, but it's certain little parts of it that is somewhat different, but they're very small. And even when you start breaking them down, they actually tie right back into the other thing. But the bulk of it all is that these behaviors are extremely toxic, and it will change the way that you view yourself. One, it would completely destroy your self-esteem and your confidence. It would definitely bring on that stress, that anxiety. It would have you to the point, if you do not get it handled, it will also take you to the stages of suicidal thoughts, etc. Okay. We had some other stuff on here. What we got? It says, my issue never got resolved due to the same exact thing you're saying. I'm like, damn, am I crazy? Like how you just skipped over my issue. And that's what happens. And that's what happens. And then what in the other part of that, I'm glad you said that. The other part of that too, love, is that you will start to feel as though your feelings are not valid in that relationship. You'll start to feel like in that relationship, how you feel and what you think, you'll start to feel less important. And once you start to feel as though you're less important in that relationship, you'll start to get mute. You won't say anything at all, which then makes the relationship twice as hard, because you have one person that's willing to communicate, and then you have the other person that just feels like, well, why am I going to say anything? It ain't going to matter anyway. So when you bring on the nonchalant part of that, when you force a loving person, an emotionally driven person into a back wall, and you start to make them feel as though that you don't care, they're going to act out on you don't care anyway. And they're gonna carry that mentality, which means eventually they're gonna detach from you, because who the hell want to be in a relationship with a person that just don't care about anything? That's, what I mean, I can do that by myself. Like, yeah, no, life already hard. I don't need nobody around me that's gonna make it worse. Who else I got on here? It says, how did you overcome depression from being? What did she say? How did you overcome depression from being around a toxic? Oh. That's easy. I got away from them. Stop being scared to leave folk where you met them at. That's the easy one right there. She said, how did you overcome depression from being around toxic narcissistic relatives? I just got away from all of mine. I got on the bus and got a fake ID and got on through. That's it. All you have to do is go read my book. Go let my book play in your ear. Keisha Dior, go get the book, baby. I just got the hell on through. That's what I did. I don't deal with them at all. I don't deal with them, period. That's it. That's all. And then the cool thing about it is you don't owe them an explanation for nothing that you do. You don't have to get their approval or their acceptance. You don't need their pats on the back. You don't need their go ahead, their green light, none of that. The joy to this thing called peace is you don't need anybody to come in and to give you anything for it. If it's not bringing you a certain level of joy or peace in your life, it is your divine right to make a conscious decision within yourself to say, you know what, this is not beneficial to me. It's not profitable for me. This right here is not helping me in my life. It's not helping me accomplish any of my goals. This right here is something that I should have been detached from for a very long time. Because what's going to happen is the more that you linger in that same environment that got you sick, you will continue to be sick. You will continue to be stuck. You will continue to deal with that depression state until it gets to the point where, yeah, again, you go into new levels with it. With depression comes stress, anxiety. Now you waking up in the middle of the night, your chest hurting, feeling heavy. Come on, man. Nah, you got to get on through. What else we got on there? Give me somebody else, Josh. Says, can you touch on trust in our personal development and relationship? Oh, trust in the personal development and relationships. Trust is gonna always be extremely important. And the crazy thing about trust, Keisha Dio, I love you, man. That's I love you. Y'all know how I am, man. I can't change it, man. I gotta give it to you just like how I get it. Trust is always gonna be one of those things, I'm about to talk about things, love. You can't trust anybody else until you learn how to trust yourself. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I did not realize that until I actually started like 2017 with living by myself, doing things for myself, reading and meditating and doing my live videos. That in order for, because I came from a place, you know what I'm saying, in my background where you'll be crazy to trust anybody. I come from a background where everybody and anybody was always out to get you or out to get one up on you. You know what I'm saying? And it was, no matter how good you was to that person, how loving you was to that person, it was always something. And I think the best way to answer that question is do you trust yourself? Because when you trust yourself, you will trust yourself enough to make the right decisions with your personal development and also in your relationship. When you know that you're going into that relationship and you are 100% on what it is that you're willing to give, and you're very clear on the things that you're letting that individual know that you're willing to take, because that's what comes along with it as well. Being very, like, communication is key. I'm gonna let you know that coming in, this is what I'm willing to give and this is what I'm willing to take. Any of that other stuff, I'm letting you know that I'm not gonna be for it. And once you do that and you let it be known that this is how it's gonna move, if that person is going to be on board, then they're going to follow through, understanding exactly what your rules and your guidelines are for that particular relationship. And if not, they'll probably have some rules and regulations of their own, which is always a good thing, because you know that they've thought about their life and where they wanted to go in life as well. So trusting yourself starts with you, especially with your personal development. And when you learn how to trust yourself, you'll also make the right decisions when it comes to relationships. Say, what would you consider a healthy compromise? Oh, that's a good question. A healthy compromise is something that's going to be beneficial on both ends. On both ends, especially when we're talking, and not just in a relationship, familyship, jobship, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's some things that, it's some things that are not major. Like, I'm not going to compromise with my integrity. I'm not going to compromise with my love. I'm not going to compromise with my mental health. It's some things that it is just what it is, and I'm not compromising it. And if you don't fit the bill, then that's just what that's what it is. Just go over there. I think a healthy compromise would be if I know for a fact, let's just say I'm a Christian and I end up talking to somebody that's Muslim, right? You do whatever it is that you do that's going to make you a better person. If you follow in Allah, it's going to make you a better person. And I'm following I'm following Jesus, then that's just what it is. To me, the healthy compromise is being in a position where you're able to respect another person's boundaries. You're able to respect another person's life and what it is that they do. So, for instance, if I know that you get up at 5 o'clock to do your thing, then I'm not going to get up and I'm not going to interrupt you. I'll maybe get up 30 minutes later, or I get up 30 minutes earlier. Healthy compromises is working together in a relationship to make sure that each person have what it takes for them to be able to operate at their fullest potential. As long as, you know what I'm saying, as long as it's not, like I said, your integrity, your love, or your mental health, hey, it's negotiable. We can work something out on that. What else we got?
This isn't a question. I mean, this is like the only thing left, but I don't know if you wanted to give any advice for this.
Let me see.
Woman here.
I keep talking to my toxic ex. She keeps saying she'll change, and I keep falling for it. I love her, but she doesn't change. I try to stop talking to her, but she just beats me. Listen, you gotta go. You gotta go. There's no deep rebuttal for that. We're not going to drag that out. Chantel, you got to go. At the end of the day, it's a couple of things in this statement that stick out. The first and foremost, you already identified her as the toxic ex. Why would you keep drinking poison? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Why will I continue to drink poison? When you know something is making you sick, why do you keep going to that same place where you got sick? You would never find happiness in the same place that you lost it. If you lost it there, then that's just the end of that. There's no such thing as going back and allowing a person to repaint you all these different pictures. When people show you who they are, take them. When they let you know how they rock with you, take it, because they're showing you their true, authentic self. And if they do, if you go to them and you bring it up and you say anything about it, what they're going to do is they're going to change, but it's only going to be for that moment, or they're going to change long enough to reel you back in. But as soon as you get back, it's going to be the same exact reasons why you left in the very beginning. Now here you are repeating that same exact toxic cycle. No, the standout part is they're toxic. Let it go. And you keep telling you that they're gonna change, and you keep falling for it. That's because the reason why you keep falling for it is because you love them. You love them. You know what I'm saying? So, but why I'm gonna answer that part. It's facts over feelings. Get out of your feelings. So love will have you in situations where you stuck, baby. You won't be growing, you won't be evolving, you won't be gaining anything from it. It's just the love that you have for them. Sometimes you got to love folk from a distance. You got to deal with them with a long handle spoon, and that's just what it is. I can give you this, but I'm gonna have to reach it out this way. I don't need you coming close nowhere around me. I don't need you coming over here. You know what I'm saying? Doing none of that. You know, dropping none of them little hope, wishful thinking, those broken promises. Keep all that stuff over there. She said, I love her, but she doesn't change. Yeah, and she don't change, and it's not your job to change her. It's not your job to change her. It's not your job to save her, and it's not your job to stay over there. One of the things I tell y'all all the time that Les Brown said that I really love, when things in your life go wrong, you do not go wrong with them. When it, baby,
like that.
Listen, I love it. I live by it. When things in your life go wrong, you do not go wrong with them. You just don't do it. You don't do it. You know what I mean? It's enough wrong over there already. It don't need your input. All right, who else we got?
That's pretty much it. I want to give just a little word to Chantel. You may want to look into trauma bonding. I think that's that's that cycle that you're addicted to. And I know like Street gives it like straight raw, and she's correct, but it's like it's a drug. Basically, when you keep dealing with it, it's like you get that high of them, like when things are good, and that low, and then the high and the low, and you just become a drug addict for abuse, basically. So
A
if you
glutton for
stay,
pain.
yeah,
A glutton for pain. You know what
yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
got to detox. You got to
But
detox.
there's no way you're gonna know that it's a brick wall standing in front of you, and you still run your head into that brick wall. But if you going back to that same toxic relationship, that same toxic environment, then that's exactly what you're doing. Every single time you're taking your head and you running it into that brick wall. And one thing that you got to understand is that you have got to take responsibility for your own life. You got to take ownership over your life. At this point, it's not so much as the toxic ex that's the issue. The issue is the fact that you feel as though that you don't deserve something bigger and something better. The problem is you don't know your worth. Your confidence is broken. Your self-esteem is low, to so much so that you're running after somebody that do not deserve you. That's where the problem lies. Is in, trauma bonding. I feel like trauma bonding is when y'all both have an issue. Both of you've been lied to, cheated on, they've been lied to, cheated on, and y'all got something in common. That's that to me, that's trauma bonding. We're both going through something, so we're gonna come and we're gonna be, we're gonna keep each other company. We're gonna come and we're gonna, over there, we're gonna have our pity party together. You know what I mean? But I think the situation that we're talking about is you have got to stand up for yourself. You got to make, just like I told Julius, you have got to make yourself a star player in your life. You have got to become the most valuable person in your life. You have got to take you seriously, because right now what's happening is, even though you're saying that I'm changing and I'm working on myself and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, that person right there that we're talking about, that's your living, breathing distraction. Every time you start working on yourself, every time you start growing, every time you start saying, oh, I'm reading this self-help book, or I'm listening to motivational speaking, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, you giving yourself this pep talk of everything that you're going to be doing in your life. You got to understand that just because you're saying it out loud, everything around you, all the energies around you hear you as well. So now I got to challenge you. I got to challenge you on the person that you say that you're becoming. I got to challenge you on what it is that you're saying, that, oh, you say you got this, I'm going to show you that you don't. And every time that you say that you got it and you're going to leave that individual alone, what happened? That person pops up. They got another sad story. Now they got something else that they want to talk to you about, and they want to put those sweet nothings in your ear. They want to reel you back in. And guess what? Now you got to start all the way over from the beginning point, because you done came back in, you done stepped out of position, you done went over there, you got distracted, you done got pulled to the side. Now here you are, got to start all the way back over again. So yes, I'm extremely real, I'm extremely raw. But the truth of the matter is, it's a distraction, and it's not going to be fixed until you make yourself a priority in your life. It's not going to be fixed until you stay committed to the commitments that you make to yourself. When you say that I'm not dealing with you and you don't do it, that's what you got to do. And she said, Chantel, we definitely here to support you. Definitely here to support you, to motivate you, to inspire you, to give you all the tools and everything that you need to set you up for success. And we can do that, but at the same time, none of that is going to work if you are not committed. If you have not made that decision within yourself to say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired, I'm done crying, I'm done sliding down the wall, I'm done begging you to do right, I'm done begging you to see my value, I'm done begging you to act right, I'm done begging you to do this, and this. It's not going to work no matter what any of us say. I can talk till my tongue hurt. I can text till my thumb so. Yep. But if you haven't made up in your own mind to say that you want something better for your life, it's all wasted energy.
Yep.
And that person see that in you. So they're going to keep testing you. They're going to keep trying you. They're going to keep coming after you. As long as you keep picking up, as long as you keep texting back, as long as you keep interacting. It says, where do I sign up for one-on-one life coaching? Put the link in the comments for me. He's about to put the link in the comments for you, Chantel. But guys, this has been an amazing class, extremely informative. I tell you what, I learned a lot from actually researching this and seeing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That right there, I really, really liked it. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm gonna do some more research on it, because I'm invested now, y'all. I want to know. I just want to know more about it. We actually have one more class that we're gonna have for this particular class, for this particular 90 days. We have one more class, and it is going to take place. Today is the 20th?
Yes, ma'am.
So our last class will be April the 3rd. I will be having a special guest. I will let you guys know who she is later on this week, trying to finalize everything, lock everything in. But when I tell you that we are going to go out with a bang, I really want y'all to understand that we are definitely going out with a bang. Man, she is fired. If I can lock her in, y'all are going to be nothing short of amazed with this right here, man. I tell you what, because I wanted to make sure that it was worth it for everybody. I didn't want to end this class without giving you guys that opportunity to do the questions and answers. So thank you guys for coming and having so many dope, deep questions, man. For real. Definitely challenged me. I'm gonna tell you, because there was a couple of them questions I was like, wait a minute, hold on now. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that. Oh, she said that she can't. Oh man, yeah, I was telling y'all it was going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What was her question though? She had a question. What was hers?
I gotta scroll. Hang on a second.
We're gonna try to answer your question though. We're gonna go back and find out what it is. But yeah, we're gonna the last class will, she said this was everything. Thank you. Can we come back and watch? Yes, Ashley, this class will be up inside of the Patreon. So if anybody did not, if you came in late or whatnot, you can always go back and watch it from the very beginning. If you didn't take the notes, all of the notes, everything will be in there. I do not delete any of my videos, so all of this stuff will still be available to you guys inside of the Patreon. But I want y'all to be, you know what I'm saying, be ready. April the 3rd, we're going to have an amazing class that day. She says guardianship, court order, have to stay in contact. It is very toxic. Why about the 7 years? You got a court order that says that you have to stay in contact, and it's very toxic. I'm not really sure about what the after 7 years help. I'm trying to understand, like, you know what I'm saying, the court order is like, you know what I'm saying, is it because you have small children and you guys have to deal with each other? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to understand what the question is exactly.
Yeah, it's more than just a sentence or two. That's that whole situation.
Yeah. And you might go ahead and hit me in the inbox with yours. Maybe I can help you out a little bit more, and there you can give me a little bit more details, because it sounds really legal like, and I'm not sure if that's something that we do on here. You're welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today and participating in the class. Those of you who came with questions, thank you guys so much for having such amazing questions. And the class participation was just like beyond, man. Yeah, I love it. I love it when everybody is all involved. She said, yes, I have to pay for their. Wow. Okay. Well, we're gonna talk. Me and you'll talk inside the inbox. So the next class will be April the 3rd. I will have a guest on there that I think that you guys are going to love. Thank you, Julius. Hey, Julius hung out the whole entire time, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Julius, the only man inside the group. He is all right with me. You are welcome, Julius. Okay. Yeah. And he came with a really good question. So we love it over here. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and y'all know the drill, right? Every single day that you wake up, you put 10 toes to the ground. Sweat yourself. Tell yourself how beautiful you are and how much you love you, because there's no love like self-love, and you first have got to love yourself way before you're able to love anybody else. It is your favorite online motivational speaker, your favorite online personality. It is your girl, Street Poet. Thank you guys so much, and you enjoy the rest of your night.
Want me to end it or you?
I got it.